Yo, what's up guys? So before I start this off, I have two things. First thing is that I know that this is vertical and not horizontal, but the app I used only had the vertical format, so too bad. And the second thing is that this may or may not be cringy, but I really need to pass this class. So here's my creative component. So my book is Thug. Literally. It's called The Hate You Give and it's by Angie Thomas. The story starts off with a party. Not a birthday party, but a typical high school one. The main character, Sarah Carter, goes there and meets up with her old guy friend named Khalil Harris. A gunfight occurs and they leave together in his car. While driving, they get pulled over by a white police officer by the name of Brian Cruz or Officer 115. The officer forces Khalil out of the car and then walks to his own. Khalil goes to the car window and asks Star if she's okay. He gets shot by the officer 3 times in the back. The shots cause Khalil to die, and from there, things just get worse. Now about her home life. She lives in a generally black neighborhood called Garden Heights, but goes to a predominantly white school called Williamson, near a rich neighborhood called Riverton Hills. She has 2 brothers named Seven and Sakani. She also has a white boyfriend named Chris. She has an uncle named Carlos, who also happens to be a police officer. He actually defends Officer 115 and calls him a nice man. Star's dad, Maverick, believes that it was a racial shooting. He used to be in a gang, but he left, and now he's fighting against the gang leader named King. Yeah, you're probably thinking of how crazy and nuts just all of this is, but trust me, it just gets worse. Star ends up going to the police station to give her statement of what she saw occurred. The police keep trying to make Khalil's death seem like it was justified. They keep saying that he was involved with gangs and drugs, which caused the officer to shoot the threat. To make things worse, King goes to Khalil's funeral and tries to make it seem like Khalil was part of his gang. She then meets an activist and attorney called Miss Ofra. At school, her friend Haley gives racist remarks, but Star just ignores it at first. Maverick then offers protection to a boy named Devontae, who is in King's gang, which makes King even angrier. On TV, Officer Cruz lies about what happened that day and he victimizes himself. Star then does her own TV interview and dry snitches on King about the funeral. A drive-by shooting occurs at her house, and the family isn't sure if King did that, possibly the police. She then tries to talk to the jury one more time, to hope to bring justice for her past friend. Star's racist friend then says another racist remark, which causes Star to beat her up and also get suspended. She gets a call from her brother and finds out that Devontae is missing. They find him very badly beaten up in King's house. And as they dash away in their car, the jury's decision is announced for Officer 115. The verdict is innocent. Mad and angry, violence erupts in Garden Heights, and riots then begin to occur. During a riot, Star sees Miss Ofra, and she gives Star a megaphone and she voices her opinion on the justice system. Tear gas is then released, and the group is picked up in a van by one of Maverick's friends. He then decides to drop them off at Maverick's store, not knowing the danger that would await them. Suddenly, someone throws a burning bottle in the store and it lights everything on fire. Maverick and a neighbor save them, while King and his gang just laughs. The police come, and everyone begins to snitch on King, causing him to get arrested for arson. Her old friend Haley tries to reach back out for Star, but Star is confused and realizes that she's better off without Haley, so she cuts her off. Maverick then promises to rebuild his store, and Star promises to fight injustice, stand up for people who are like Khalil, and to never forget him. Now, let's discuss the themes, topics, and etc. I chose this book due to the topic that it was of. Many books these days are about romance and teen love, but this book was different. Instead, it was more realistic and it dealt with a very serious issue. I'm very glad I chose this book because it didn't disappoint me one bit. One theme in this book is that it takes courage to fight for what is right. After the incident, Star was mad and sad, but she was too scared of the police and also of King. After her friend Kenya talks to her and tells her to do something, so Star then does her TV interview. Even though the incident had consequences, Star still fought for what was right, which took a lot of bravery. I believe that the main theme of this book is racial inequality. Throughout the whole book, racial inequality is evident. It's present in Star's school, her community, and also in the justice system. Racial inequality is shown everywhere in society too, making it very important. It's shown in modern society in many cases such as police brutality, social acceptance, and even racism on social media. I also believe that the meaning of this book is that there is a lot of racial bias in the justice system, but that shouldn't stop anyone. In the book, even with no evidence and a witness, Officer 115 was still deemed innocent, but Star still fought for Khalil and others like him. I believe that we should follow this in real life too. Even though the justice system is racially biased, we shouldn't stop fighting for what is right. Society isn't always fair, but we shouldn't let them control what we should do and how we should feel. I appreciate the themes of this book because it discussed a serious issue that I didn't think much of. After reading the book, though, I understood more about the issue and different people's perspectives on it. I think that everyone should read this book because it's a good read and you won't be disappointed. Thank you, and that's the end.